What are they called?
I'm typing in little Jewish hat.
Shalom, my friends. My name is Eliezer Margalit, and welcome to Red, White, and Jew, a Jewish storytelling and commentary channel. The subject of today's video will answer a question I've been asked a lot in my life. What the hell are those little Jewish hats? We live in a world where everyone seems to be offended by everything. And I think we've become apprehensive when it comes to asking genuine questions like this, out of fear of appearing ignorant or offending someone. Have no fear, my friends. I welcome questions and would love to explain this to you. That's what this channel is all about. I will explain the history and meaning behind these skull caps and answer some questions I am frequently asked about them. So tune in. At first glance, they may look like shrunken beanies,
Your pinecone snowman could be Jewish. Just add one of those little beanies.
but they are in fact skull caps Jews have worn for centuries. There are two names you can call them. Kippah is the Hebrew term and literally translates to dome. I generally prefer this word because Hebrew is the language which unites Jews. On the other hand, Yarmulke is the Yiddish term, the language of the Ashkenazi Jews who settled in Eastern and Central Europe after the Jewish diaspora. Either word is correct, so call it however you please. I will use the word kippah throughout this video, and please note that when I say kippot, this is the plural form. Traditionally, kippot are worn by Jewish men, but many modern Jewish movements permit and encourage women to wear them as well. Wearing a kippah is not a commandment explicitly dictated in the Torah. Historically, this tradition began around the 2nd century, during Talmudic times. Over the centuries, it evolved into a deeply meaningful custom, ingrained into Jewish culture. From a religious perspective, the kippah serves as a constant reminder of God's transcendent presence. It is a physical expression of the Jewish belief that God's presence fills creation and is always overhead, so to speak. On a social level, kippot are a visible symbol of Jewish identity and belonging to the Jewish community, kind of like a public declaration of religious affiliation, helping to maintain Jewish unity and continuity through the generations and across the world. Over the centuries, adorning one's head with a kippah has become a sign of respect when participating in religious activities such as prayer or studying Torah, and even eating. A lot of people have asked me whether or not non-Jews can wear them when participating in Jewish events such as a wedding or a bar mitzvah. The answer is yes. This is actually encouraged and viewed as a very sweet thing to do. Of course, if you are not comfortable doing so, that is okay too. Kippot come in a variety of sizes, colors, and fabrics. Some kippah makers get very creative with their designs, as you can see. Sometimes different styles can delineate different Jewish communities. Many Sephardic and Mizrahi communities wear larger kippot, which cover their entire heads, whereas small black velvet kippot are popular amongst ultra-Orthodox Jews. Now let's do a quick Q&A, where I will answer some questions I am frequently asked by friends or curious strangers. Question number 1. How do they stay on your head? Some kippot are large enough that they will form to the shape of your head and naturally stay, whereas smaller ones often require bobby pins or clips. Question number 2. Where do you get them? I've purchased many of my kippot from street merchants in Israel. The kippah man, located in Jerusalem, is one of the most popular. When I am not in Israel, I rely on Etsy and Amazon. It is also custom to distribute them at bar mitzvahs and weddings as a memento of the special event. Question number 3. What types of reactions do you get when you wear them? I mean, I've gotten mixed reactions over the years, and it really depends on where I am. For example, when I visited Manhattan, America's Jewish capital, no one thought twice about it, because they are as commonplace as a baseball cap. In my town, however, they are not as common. On occasion, I'll catch strangers looking at the top of my head with a confused look on their face. Sometimes, my kipa will initiate other Jews to start a conversation with me. That might sound weird, but our community is so small, we tend to instantly click when we run into each other in the wild. I've only had 2 negative reactions, once as a teenager, another time in college. The first time, my mom and I were heading to the synagogue for a Shabbat service, so I had one on. We stopped to grab some food on the way, and as we were walking towards the entrance, some random guy walking by looked at us and shouted, "K***s." This is a slur for Jewish people. We were shocked and caught off guard, but we just acted like nothing happened, and thankfully, it didn't escalate beyond that. The second time was in college, when I was the chairman for the university's annual Holocaust Vigil. Me and several other guys, all wearing kippot, were bringing some snacks from the Jewish Cultural Center to the volunteers at the vigil. As a car drove by, some guy stuck his hand out the window in the shape of a gun and motioned as if he were shooting us. We reported the incident, and the campus police department sent more officers to watch us through the night, since the vigil was 24 hours. Other than that, I haven't received too much negativity while wearing a kippah. After the war started in 2023, I definitely noticed an increase of hostile stares from strangers. But I don't really count these, because I have no way of proving this was because of my kippah. It's more of a feeling. And frankly, I refuse to let a nasty glance from a stranger hurt me, and don't really care. Anyway, now that we've explored some of the history and meaning behind the kippah, I wanted to share what they mean to me on an individual level. When I was a kid, I would only wear them for religious occasions. I didn't begin to regularly wear them until I began college, as a way to meet other Jews on campus. Over time it became habitual, and I noticed I would feel off or like something was missing if I left the house without one. As I get more religious with age, wearing a kippah has become a spiritual practice that anchors me into God's presence and serves as my reminder to remain mindful and to act with integrity. And the significance continues to evolve for me. After the October 7th Hamas massacre, there was a sharp increase in anti-Semitic hate crimes around the world. Some of my family urged me to stop wearing them. While I understand and appreciate the concern, this is something I will not do. I refuse to bow down to those who want us to retreat to the shadows and live in fear. There are many people and entities who have a vested interest in keeping us afraid and intimidated. The only remedy I can conceive of is to continue living my life as a Jew with my head held high. In Psalms 27, it is written, "Adonai is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? If an army were encamped against me, I would not fear. If war were waged against me, still I would trust." This passage has become my affirmation, particularly in situations where I worry about safety, walking through the world as a visibly Jewish person. That being said, we've reached the end of today's video. Please, do not be shy. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to know, or something I may have forgotten to mention. To my non-Jewish friends, did you learn anything new? To my fellow Jews, do you wear a kippah, and what significance do they hold in your life? I look forward to reading your comments, my friends. and don't forget to subscribe. I have a lot of videos in the works for you guys. Until next time, Shabbat Shalom and Happy New Year.
My God, this picture makes you look like you aren't even Jewish at all.